we are starting with the revision of Chapter 11 Transportation in Animals and Plants. And today is the first part of the same. In the last period, we have completed with the reproduction in the plants. So, children, as already we have studied about this chapter, so you are well aware of few of the terms, and that is your circulatory system. Within the circulatory system, we have the blood, we have the heart, we have the arteries, veins, and the capillaries. So, we will be talking of all of them in detail now, once again. Children, as you know, in higher animals like the human beings, a transport system is needed to carry the materials such as the carbon dioxide, oxygen, and the nutrients to the different parts of the body. And this transport system is called the circulatory system. Now the question is, why is transport of material necessary in animals and plants? So, animals, they need to transport the food and the water from the small intestine and the oxygen from the lungs to all the various parts of the body. Animals, they need to transport the waste from where they are produced to the parts from where they can be removed. So, this is all done with the help of your system, which is said to be your circulatory system. Even the plants, they need to transport the food from the leaves and the water and the minerals to all the other parts of the body. So it is not only that in animals transportation is required, but also in the case of plants that it is required for the transport of the food and the minerals along with the water to the various parts of the body. The function to transport these substances together forms the circulatory system, which already just now. Now, how it takes place is, it takes place with the help of the fluid which flows within our blood vessels, and that is called our blood. How does the blood carry the various substances? So, this blood, which is a liquid, which has cells of various kinds which are suspended in it. The fluid part of the blood is called the plasma, and the other three cells which are present within the blood are called your red blood cells, also called as RBC, white blood cells called as WBC, and the platelets. And they have their own specific function. When we talk of the red blood cells, they, from the name itself, as they have red colored pigment which is called hemoglobin. So it is this hemoglobin which helps the blood to combine with the oxygen, and then it forms the oxyhemoglobin. And in this way, the oxygen is transported to the cells of the body. Once the oxyhemoglobin reaches the cell, the oxygen is separated from these hemoglobin and it is utilized by the cell. So hemoglobin, which binds with the oxygen and it transports to each and every part of the body, which is ultimately reached to all the cells. Next comes is your white blood cells. So white blood cells, they are colorless cells. Their number is fewer. That means their number is much less as compared to that of the other cells, but they are larger than RBCs. Their function is to protect the body against the diseases by destroying the harmful organisms, and their number increases when a person is suffering from any of a disease. They also show amoeba-like movement, which helps them to reach the site of the infection through the walls of the blood vessel. After that, the third one comes your platelets. These are the smallest cell in the body. Their main function is to help the blood in clotting. That means we say they helps in clotting of the blood. Now the question is, what happens if there are no platelets within the blood? So the answer to this question is, if there are no platelets within the blood, there will be no clotting. Okay, so as a result of which bleeding will not stop, and it will lead to a disease called hemophilia, which may be fatal for our body, either for our organism. So it may lead to death. This blood is carried through the vessels, and among the vessels we have two main vessels, that is your arteries and the veins. Arteries, they carry the blood from the heart to the carry blood which is rich in oxygen, except we have the pulmonary arteries. Rest all the arteries, they carry the oxygen rich blood. They have thick walls, but they do not have any valves. On the other side, we have the veins. They carry the blood from the body to the heart. They carry the blood which is rich in carbon dioxide, except the pulmonary veins. They have thin walls, but they have valves to prevent the backflow of deoxygenated blood within the body. So this is the function of the blood vessels within our body. After the blood vessels, we have the main organ, and that is the heart. Heart is located between the lungs and is well protected by the ribs. It is triangular in shape. The heart is a muscular and powerful structure. Its size is about the closed fist. The function of the heart is to pump the blood, and it beats about 60 to 80 times per minute. Here you can see how the fist of our hand is. In the same way, the structure of the heart is also there. This heart is divided up into 4 chambers. The upper 2 chambers are called the auricles, and the lower 2 chambers are called the ventricles. These chambers are separated by a muscular wall called the septum. The heart is enclosed by a double wall sac called the pericardium. So, the auricles and the ventricles of the heart, they are completely separated so that the blood flowing in them, it does not mixes with each other. That means the oxygenated blood is not mixed up with the deoxygenated blood. So here within the figure you can see the structure of the heart, which has got 4 chambers. This is chamber 1, this is chamber 2, this is chamber 3, and this is chamber 4. So here you can see the 4 chambers. The upper 2 chambers are said to be the auricles, and the lower 2 chambers are said to be the ventricles. Okay, so here this is how we have, and in between we have the valves which keep them separated. And here we have the septum. This is your pericardium. So this is how the structure of the heart is there, which we have already studied before also. So for today, the assignment is you will be writing what is blood and what are the functions of the blood. The next question that is there is how many chambers are present within the human heart, and you have to name them. I hope you have understood the circulatory system, functions of the blood, component of the blood, the location and the structure of the heart. Thank you. Hope so you have understood this once again and the topic is much more clear to you. Bye.